Hey, welcome to The Fix. I'm Tucker.
And I'm Travis.
And this is the best pressure washers under 500 bucks.
Sweet.
So what we thought would be good would be to like give everybody all the information that we can give you so that you can make a good decision on buying a pressure washer. These are all from Black Diamond, and so we're going to walk through all the different features and what they're good for and what they're not good for, and then we're going to do a live test on this old dirty pallet and show you what the actual pressure does for each of these. All right, so let's start. We have 3 electric and 2 gas. Let's start with the smallest one with the lowest pressure.
Yep, electric, 1700 PSI,
Which
pounds
means
per square inch.
Pounds per square inch. So if
And
you had a
then-
square inch, that's how much pressure is happening in a square inch.
Exactly.
1,700 pounds of pressure.
Also is 1.2 GPM, which is gallons per minute.
So that's how much water is coming out. So it's the combination of both of those numbers when you're talking about all of these PSI, pounds per square inch, and GPM, gallons per minute. So that's what you want to pay attention to.
GPM is how much it can handle coming in.
Yep.
Pounds per square inch is how much it's pushing out.
Gotcha. So what's this going to be good for?
This one's a pretty light duty home. I think it's going to be good for washing your car.
Washing your car. Yep.
Doing a little bit of fence work, cleaning it,
Light-
not so
light
much
duty, though.
like, getting really grimy stuff off.
Yep.
And very light work around the house.
And all of these come with some kind of either reservoir for detergent or a way to get soap into it. This one comes with a little
Dispenser,
soap
and I think
dispenser.
this
We'll
goes
show you how that works.
Right under there. So
Yep,
yeah.
it just hooks right onto the gun. Great for washing your car, washing windows, stuff like that.
Yep, that's where I see it, and it's pretty portable.
Pretty
very
portable,
small.
pretty small. Yeah, pretty easy to get around. And if you're just getting into it, you just need something that's going to make washing stuff quicker.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I did notice a lot of these have a pretty large extension cable,
Yep, they
which
all
is
come
really
with like 30-foot
convenient.
extension
So
cables, so that's really good. You don't have to be right next to the house or something like that. But if you're going to be using something out where you don't have power, that is something to take into consideration. All right, so next we have the 2,000 PSI electric one.
1.2 GPM on this
Okay.
guy.
What's this going to be good for?
This is your next level up in your homeowner. So if this, it doesn't cover exactly what you need,
It's not getting it done.
it's not getting done. This is your next one. So this
Okay.
is going to be good for your vehicles, your heavier grime vehicles. It's going to be good for some patio work,
Okay.
including furniture,
Yep.
siding, so
Okay.
on your house,
Yeah,
and
if
then
you're going to be painting or something like that. You gotta-
fencing,
yep.
that kind of stuff. So this is that next level up that this one probably doesn't quite fill that.
Yep.
This is
Still-
going to be the one your option.
Still electric, has an onboard detergent reservoir, which is great. You can fill up that little reservoir and it just will draw that soap up, whatever you're using it for. So if you're doing concrete, you could get some special detergent for it, or car wash, you can put car wash liquid in there.
Degreaser,
Degreaser, yeah.
whatever you need.
All right, so next up, this is our last electric one, 3,000 PSI. This is-
1.1 GPM.
Okay, so the combination of that coming in, going out is something we really need to consider. But this is quite a step up in PSI.
I would say so, yeah. This is definitely going to fill in that next level up. I'm thinking heavily muddy, ATVs, UTVs, that kind
Yep.
of stuff. Probably usability in your farm implements, your trailers,
Yep.
your farm trailers. Definitely not your home usage
Okay,
one. I
stepping
would
out
not
of that, yeah,
say,
just everyday stuff.
yeah.
And this is when we get into 3,000 PSI. This is when you have to start being careful about some of the softness and hardness of what you're doing, like wood. This could, depending on the wood, start to damage the wood, not just clean it.
Or blow paint off of it. You
Yeah,
know?
if you're not trying to do that. If you are trying to do that, you might be able to get into paint stripping a little bit with this.
Pretty light, but
Pretty
not
light,
like,
but yeah.
yeah.
All right, so now we get into our first gas one. So nice thing about gas, if I'm not around electric, this will go anywhere with me, out into a field, out by a barn or whatever. This one is 3,100 PSI, but 2.3 GPM. So a lot more water coming in, more than twice what you had with that 3,000 PSI one electric. So
Same amount going out.
yeah, so what are we looking at with this one?
This one's going to be, I think, our definite ag type
Okay.
pressure washer. You're going to be getting a lot of usage for, your equipment. You got
Degreasing.
Degreasing, cleaning off, caked on grass, that kind of stuff.
Concrete work, I'm guessing, taking a lot of stuff off concrete. This is a lot.
Like that borderline, almost commercial work, but not like right there.
Okay.
I'd say it's probably really good for bigger surface areas.
Yep.
Because you got that mobility of not needing electric. You don't need to be tied to a table or a
Right.
cable to the wall.
Yep.
But yeah, so I think that's where you're going to get a lot of the benefit here is that
The mobility.
mobility.
If these are just not what you need, and you do need to go above that $500 threshold and get into something more industrial, then we're talking about this one. This is the 3700 PSI 2.5 GPM model. This is going to be
Pure blown commercial work.
commercial work. This is going to be high-end stuff where you need to get something off of something else, whether you can strip and paint, or what else? Like what else we use this for?
Stripping paint, cleaning up, you know, probably a work
Garage floor that's been
work
really grimy.
areas, prepping for paint.
Okay.
I
Yep.
did see something about that. So I mean, this has a little bit more utility in that industrial space.
Okay. This is one definitely you got to be careful on wood, especially this will tear it up.
Yep.
All right.
Probably punch
So
a hole through it if you
Yeah.
felt like it.
yeah. All right. So let's try these out and see how they do.
Let's do it.
All right, so we should say that we're going to be testing these all out with the 25-degree nozzle. So if you don't know what that is, that's the degree, the angle of the fan. And so the smaller the number, the tighter and more powerful it's going to be. So we're going to do all these with the 25-degree, which is kind of, you know, it's not all the way down at tight, but it's not. It's kind of in the middle.
It's a good universal.
Good universal, yeah. All right, so here we go. This is the 1700.
That was dirty.
Yeah, it did some.
All right, next up is our 2000 PSI electric.
All right, this is the 3000 PSI electric.
This is a 3100 PSI gas.
$3,700 PSI. All right, well, there you have it. Best pressure washers for under $500, and one if you don't care if it's under $500, you want to really do some damage.
Yeah, and like we can see here,
Yeah.
I think this is about as we would expect. You
Yeah.
know, I really look at this, and I don't think I really came in with a specific outlook of what it could actually visually look like.
Yep.
And I think this makes sense.
Yeah, and I
makes
think
me-
what's impressive is I think electric has come a long way, and you don't have to sacrifice as much. I think it mentally, people are probably thinking, well, if you want power, you got to go gas. Not necessarily anymore. For 3,000 PSI at $500 or just under, like, it does pretty good. It does what you need it to do. So these are all the Black Diamond pressure washers and what they can do.
Thanks for joining us on The Fix. Like, share, and subscribe.